Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today I have my Candle Day guide video, which is basically my video where I share my tips and tricks and info for shopping the Bath & Body Works Candle Day event, as well as a portion of the video will be dedicated to doing a comprehensive rundown and review of all the candles that I've purchased and burned throughout the season, so then I can give sort of my recommendations on what the best ones are, as well as the ones to avoid. So if you're interested in any of that, then stay tuned. So yes, Candle Day is normally on December 5th, which is the first Saturday in December, but because of the COVID pandemic that we have this year, they're trying to give us more opportunities to shop it and spread people apart. So it's going to be a 3-day event, which is going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's going to be the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. On the 4th, it's supposed to be in stores and online, and then on the 5th and the 6th, it's going to be in stores only. So there's only one day to shop online, which is going to be that Friday, which is the first day of the event, and then you can shop in stores all 3 days. The pricing is supposed to be $9.95 for the candles, and there you can usually use coupons in stores with that, and there is a limit of 18, but that can sort of vary by store, but technically the limit is 18. So it's pretty much the basics of what the Candle Day event is. All candles in the store, regardless of what the price is, all 3 wick candles in the store, regardless of what the price is. So some of these fancy lids ones are $26.50, but some of the plain lid ones are just the $24.50 price point. It doesn't matter which, they will all be on sale for supposedly $9.95 this year. So you can buy any of the candles that are there. It's basically whatever candles are in the store at this moment, but then they also make new candles just for Candle Day. So anything that's in the store you can get for $9.95 if it is a 3-wick candle. So yes, if you're shopping online, which that would be my recommendation this year, it's sort of hard to recommend people to go into the store when there's a raging pandemic going on and there's cases exploding everywhere, so I wouldn't really necessarily recommend going into a store to buy very non-essential candles. And really the Candle Day candle lineup is very underwhelming this year, that I can't really say there's anything like risk your life to go in to buy a candle at Bath & Body Works. Normally they do like a hype collection of candles that go into the stores, but there really is nothing this year. So there's really nothing that's compelling enough for me to recommend going into the store, but it could be obviously, like, it could be worth going online because you don't have to risk your life for it, and then you just, go online and put your cart together. But obviously if you're waiting all year for this, or if you're shopping for gifts, then okay, maybe you will be going to the store for it. But yes, obviously use your own discretion when it comes to that. But if you are shopping online, the website does refresh at 6 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're wanting to buy the candles before they sell out, the candles go very, very, very quick online on Candle Day. Normally they do a sell out by around, I don't know, noon to 1 p.m. Whether or not that's a real sellout or a fake sellout in terms of them only having certain quantities available for Candle Day pricing, and then they do a sell out, quote unquote, and you can't buy them anymore, and they sort of recommend you to rush to the store and risk getting COVID because we're all sold out online. So there's that. But yeah, if there are a lot of candles that do sell out rather quickly, so if you're wanting something, I would recommend setting a timer for 6 a.m. and that's when the website refreshes for the Candle Day pricing. The thing there is historically they've done an app member exclusive early entry, early access event where that usually happens at midnight before the 6 a.m. So there's that. Of course, the app member thing is only to certain zip codes. There is a workaround for it, but I'm not going to go into all of that, but that's another topic. But the app member thing, which is technically only in certain states right now, sometimes they do the midnight early release thing there, so just watch out for that. It might be even earlier than midnight, but it's usually like that night before. The thing there is it's sort of hard that if they release online exclusive candles made for Candle Day, like, are they going to all sell out for the app members beforehand, before the 6 a.m. national rollout? We don't really know. So there's that. I've already done a whole video of the candles that are coming out for Candle Day. I'll put a link somewhere on this video here so you can get to it. Once again, there's really nothing interesting there. I think linen sheets and laundry day is really the only new things. And then there's the berry spritzer that's yet known if it's a repackage of the old nasty one or if it's a new one. And then frosted Moscow Mule, which is supposed to come out after Candle Day, but some stores might put them out early. That's another one that's seemingly new, but we don't know if it's a repackage or not yet either. So there's that. There's also that last minute collection that we saw pop up on social media, which was that cookies and cream milkshake. Whether or not that's a repackage of hot cocoa and cream, hot fudge sundae, or chocolate marshmallow clouds, we don't know about that either, but that one may or may not be in stores for Candle Day. Saturday. So those are really the only like new things, and there's nothing really slated to be like new in stores. It's really quite exciting like we've had in previous years. So once again, can't really recommend going into a store if you're like, you know, a person similar to me in terms of my, you know, candling. So there's that. The one thing is whether or not they'll have online exclusive collections that will drop just by surprise at 6 a.m. There's that, so that's why it might be of interest to just, you know, set a timer for 6 a.m. and see if there's anything worth getting. I can assure you that those will probably go rather quickly if there is indeed like any new or exclusive online exclusive candles. Those are probably going to go quick, so once again, you might want to wake up early for that, but we don't really know if there is going to be any online exclusives this year or not. So there's that as well, and I think that's pretty much all the information for it. In the past, I would wake up early and get there about 30 to 40 minutes before opening on the Saturday, the 5th, because it's only a one-day event, and there normally is a line that does stretch, you know, quite a long amount to get into the store, and I think I usually go 30 to 40 minutes early. Last year, I was like maybe the third in line at that time frame, but this year, once again, because it's 3 days, and the first day is on a Friday, so are people going to be at work, or they're going to be off like they are normally on a Saturday? We don't really know. Like, is Friday going to be the busy day, or is it going to be Saturday? We don't know about that either. So it's sort of hard to recommend or strategize for that, because I don't know if it's going to be, you know, what the crowds are going to be. Are they going to distance people out even in the lines? You don't know about that, so that's another sort of scary thing too in terms of there being crowds. So sort of hard to talk about that. Also, the thing is, normally they have Candle Day stock that's made for Candle Day, and then they have back stock that they hold to replenish the shelves after Candle Day has come and gone. But if they sell out on Friday and Saturday, well, then there'll be a chance of the back stock be coming on Sunday. So like, do you go in on Friday to get what you really want, and then do you revisit them on Sunday to see whether or not they have, you know, the back stock that's available that they've put out because they've sold out so much of the stuff on Friday and Saturday? I don't know, but it's just something to think about. Once again, this is the first year. It's been 3 days. It's been, you know, because of the COVID and pandemic and the crowds and social distancing, and there is usually a max capacity in the store, so like how long their line's going to be, no one really knows at this point, so it is kind of hard, but these are just things to think about and put out there. So I can't really recommend anything other than it's sort of risky to go into the store, but we'll see. So yeah, really the only saving grace for us like hardcore fanatics is if there are any online exclusives. But other than that, the season has been rather underwhelming, and nothing really hoard-worthy or exciting has come through. And there's really nothing at all exciting worth snatching up or risking COVID to go into the store for as of the current moment. Like cookies and cream milkshake is maybe the one new-ish thing, but we don't even know if it's going to be there or if it's an after Candle Day thing. So there's that too. And I think that segues into my rundown and reviews of all the candles that I burned for the season. So let me get into that. I am going to do a quick hit 3 categories. If you don't want to go through all this stuff, and you just want like a brief synopsis of what's going on, then I'm going to share my strongest candles, my most giftable candles, which are basically the most mass appeal one. So if you're just going in for a gift and want it at a $9.95 price point, then I'll talk about those. And then lastly, some of the online exclusives that I can talk about that are probably not going to be in stores but are available online. They're sort of tried and true good fragrances that you won't find in stores, but you could get online if you're looking for that. So the strongest candles I had this year, by far, number 1 was Paris Cafe right here. This is in the current iteration. This is so much stronger than even the Summer Boardwalk is now. Summer Boardwalk used to be super strong, but they've really watered that fragrance down. And it's not as strong as it used to be, and Paris Cafe has totally overtaken that. So if you want a very, very strong coffee fragrance, this one is the current iteration. I've burned it many times. It burns viciously. So strong. You can put this in a candle cabinet and with the lid closed, not lit, and the whole candle cabinet will smell like Paris Cafe. It is room filling, feels like the entire, you know, house filling rather. It fills an entire house. Sometimes I'll get a headache from it if it's in a smaller room. It does linger. It is immensely strong, like probably the strongest candle they have right now. So if you want a really, really strong candle that smells like coffee, then Paris Cafe is the one to get there. So there's the first one on our strongest ones. The next strongest one that I've encountered was Thanksgiving, which is a very like caramel apple type fragrance. fragrance. If you want a ooey gooey caramel fragrance, it's very sweet. This one's part of the Thanksgiving collection. This one was quite strong as well. Fresh Balsam is another tried and true fragrance. Not quite as strong as it used to be in previous years, but still a strong like Christmas tree type of fragrance. It's a fresh, crisp cleanness to it, and a little bit of sweetness to it. Your quintessential like, you know, pine Christmas tree type fragrance. Not as strong as it used to be in previous years, but still strong enough. So Fresh Balsam is another one if you're looking for a Christmas tree fragrance that is strong. We have Sweet Cranberry Pie is another very strong one that I encountered if you're looking for a very like pie crust heavy brown sugar with a little bit of fruit fragrance to it. Very warm, cozy, authentic, realistic, excellent bakery pie crust note in there. Sweet Cranberry Pie was another very strong one there as well. And then lastly, I would say the fifth strongest one that I had encountered was Acorn Lane right here. This is like a chestnut and clove kind of nutty fragrance, very fall nostalgic fragrance with a little bit of an apple and cinnamon spice in there. But totally perfect for Christmas too. Like this could be repackaged as like a nostalgic Christmas fragrance, and I could see that too. This was quite strong too. So those were the 5 strongest ones of the ones that I burned this year. Moving on into our most giftable category. If you are looking for candles that you're looking as just a gift, that might be safe bets. Perfect Christmas is the one that's super popular. You might want to check that out. This is last year's packaging. But this one has that very red hot cinnamon fragrance, but sweetened ever so slightly by a pine and marshmallow cream vanilla note in there. A very nostalgic, cozy Christmas fragrance that's very mass appeal. I really enjoy it too, so that's one that's really good if you're just looking for a quick gift. I would say Tree Farm is another one that is really popular. It's actually quite hard to find at this point right now, and many stores are sold out of it. This is your sweeter, a little bit more apple, drippy, juicy, sappy type of pine tree, Christmas tree fragrance, more so than Fresh Balsam. There's a sweeter component to it, and I think that's why it is so popular. This is another one that is a giftable fragrance as well. We have Tis the Season, which I don't have with me, but that one's another perfect Christmas fragrance. Has like a red apple fragrance mixed with a little bit of greenery pine fragrance to it. It's usually quite strong too, so that's another good one to gift. Fresh Balsam, again, I just talked about this, another great giftable fragrance. And then lastly, the one new one, but it was very popular this year, is Peppermint Sugar Cookie. If you want a bakery fragrance, but that has a quintessential peppermint Christmas feel to it, then check out Peppermint Sugar Cookie. So those were the most giftable ones, and then let me now just briefly talk about the online exclusives that you might see but not see in stores. Perfect Peony is one that's available online but not necessarily in stores. This one was actually good. It burned rather fine. I really had no issues with it. It was quite strong, clean peony fragrance. One of that more like clean, fresh peony rose fragrance is what I got from it. Sort of perfumey, matches the body care. It was actually decent. This one's actually worth a pickup online, to be honest. So that was Perfect Peony. Into the Night is available online as well. This one, if you want a more mature, seductive, Into the Night type of body care fragrance, has that rose with that ashy wood and patchouli in there. Quite sophisticated. It was always very strong for me, and it burned great. So this one's another one I would actually recommend if you're looking for online purchases. So that was another one. We, of course, have my #1 tried and true beloved that's available in some stores, but mostly online, especially the body care. Love Rose Vanilla, one of my favorite rose fragrances of all time. You know, has a very sweet, juicy vanilla fragrance with that rose water and ivy. Fresh, crisp rose fragrance to it that's still perfumey. Really, really enjoy that one. That one's always worth a pickup, and that one's available online. We also have 1,000 Wishes in an updated packaging. Another body care type of fragrance that I really enjoy. If you like the body care, the candle, the old one used to be really good. Don't know how the new one is, but that one's also online. And I think this is actually coming into stores, so you might be able to actually find this one in stores. Excellent body care candle fragrance. And then lastly, Butter Rum Eggnog. This is the old packaging, but is available new. If you want just a traditional eggnog fragrance, it's very authentic and realistic and sweet and creamy, and has all those nutmeg spice in there. It is quite delicious. You might want to check out Butter Rum Eggnog. That is an online exclusive. And that was the online exclusives, the little category that I just wanted to hit on. And then now let me go and do, it's going to be a very long video, so hang tight, grab dinner or whatever, and dessert. And I'm just going to do very quick reviews of all of these, sort of like post-burn after the reviews. So yeah, let me get into it. So we're going to start off with late summer and into fall. Some of these candles are still available online, and I've seen actually quite a bit of them in stores still as well. So I'm still going to talk about the ones that were late summer and into fall. The first one we have is Raspberry Mimosa. I've been actually seeing this in abundance now. This one was sweet raspberries, rosé, sorbet, and a splash of champagne. It's kind of like a raspberry lemonade type fragrance to it, almost like but it has a creamy like gelato type feel to it. Sweet and sort of cotton candy sugary, similar to raspberry citrus swirl or pink lemonade punch. If you like any of that kind of like citrus lemonade berry fragrance, this one was actually decent. It's not something that I would hoard or repurchase, but I enjoyed it. It was medium, light to medium. It burned fine, but nice, refreshing, sweet, cutesy, like summery type of drink fragrance is what I got from it. I actually didn't mind it. So that was Raspberry Mimosa right there. We then have in that same like White Barn Coral collection, we have Paris Cafe that I just talked about. This one I wanted to pick up just to see if it would still be strong, because it used to be one of their strongest candles. It still remains very strong. The strongest candle I think I have in my collection actually. This is a rich roasted coffee, sugared brioche, vanilla creme with essential oils. Delicious. I actually kind of really dig this now. It was too overwhelming before, but like now that this space is so hard to fill with a single candle, I'm like loving how strong this is. Burn this like in the mornings and it's, oh my god, just delicious. You get that roasty coffee note in there, but it's mixed with a little bit of a vanilla and cocoa note in there that sort of tone it down. I feel like it's not quite as burnt as it used to be, and it's a little bit more sweeter than before, but still pretty much the same fragrance for all intents and purposes. If you want a rich, heavy, intense, like brewed coffee fragrance with a little bit more something to it. Whoa, so strong. This actually burns vicious and even. So yeah, this one I was actually pleasantly surprised. It's like you really get your money's worth, or you feel like you get your money's worth when it's this strong. So yeah, Paris Cafe still remains to be strong. I literally just picked this one up recently, and it is still like the current iteration of it. So there's that. In the White Barn Coral line, we also had a pumpkin vanilla creme, which is a repackage of pumpkin pie. Smells just like pumpkin pie. You get that delicious graham cracker note in there with that pumpkin pie filling. I think it's better than sweet cinnamon pumpkin because you get a better, more bakery graham cracker note to it. This is creamy pumpkin vanilla creme, fresh ground nutmeg, and graham cracker crust. Delicious. Excellent. Doesn't nub out, but it's a very, very slow burn. It's like always on the verge of nubbing out and dudding out. You can see how small and nubby those wicks are, but it has a slow, steady burn, lighter than pumpkin pie used to be, but still adequate in a smaller room. So I would put it in a light to medium range, but still delicious fall pumpkin pie goodness. So pumpkin vanilla creme right there, and that was that. We then go on to the bakery collection that we had, and that is banana walnut muffin here. This one is one of my actual like Tina Divalicious approved or recommended fragrances if you can find it. One of my favorites from this season, and there's not a lot of favorites from this season to be honest. Sweet banana, golden nutmeg, cinnamon sugar muffin. Delicious. Oh my god, so cozy and warm. Really smells like you have juicy, warm bananas baking in the oven. You pull them out and the whole house just smells like warm, fresh banana muffins. The banana's not as artificial or intense as your like banana bundt cake type of fragrance or banana split milkshake. I like that it's a little bit more subdued and a little bit more natural, and I really enjoy that. Similar to their cinnamon nut butter fragrance they had before, but actually amped up and you can smell it. It's like a medium to strong, or it's weird. It's like the fragrance itself is lighter than you would expect, but it still throws well into the room, and you can sort of smell it like wherever you go. So that's why it's like a medium to strong, like a strong throw, but a medium fragrance, if that makes sense. Delicious. It was doing really great, but it has started nubbing out and discoloring at this point. So, you know, take what for what it's worth. So that was banana walnut muffin right there. I think one store I know of has this still. I probably put it in back stock, so I don't know if they'll put it out for Candle Day for SAS, but tempted to seek that one out again. We have this collection, which was totally slept on. Whoa. Lakeside Morning, this one I exchanged that nasty ass Alpine Skies from this Just In collection, and I was like, let me find something else. I went into a random store that just had one lone Lakeside Morning that was here. I totally missed out on this fragrance because it was during lockdown, and so I wasn't buying a lot online. It was during my move, so I had to pause on buying candles, and I totally missed out on it. I saw it online, and when I saw that it was Lakeside Morning, I was like, that's just gonna be a repackage of Lakeside Sunrise or Bergamot Waters, and it totally isn't. I was like, what? Crisp autumn air, white driftwood, a hint of a green apple. Oh my god, I freaking love this. This is like excellent. It's like this crisp apple cologne fragrance, which is similar to the Sweater Weather fragrance. So if you know Sweater Weather, not the candle, but the body care, has like this somewhat cologne apple vibe to it that I really enjoy. And I was like, oh, I wish they would always put out a Sweater Weather body care candle. This isn't quite it, but in the similar route of it, and that's why I enjoy it. It's cologne, but it's not so heavy. It's a little bit more clean and crisp, and the apple really sweetens it. It's sort of like if you had like apple, like slightly masculine apple fragrance shower gel you were using in the shower. It was a hot steamy shower, you got out of it and you could smell it on your skin, and it smells delicious, kind of like how Sweater Weather smells like on my skin. And it's just like this beautiful sweet apple cologne fragrance, but not overly cologne, still crisp and still outdoorsy and clean, very juicy and fresh. Like I just couldn't stop burning this one. Oh my god, it burns great too. And medium to medium strong. So yeah, Lakeside Morning. Whoa, this is totally not Lakeside Sunrise, totally slept on. Like this one I would actually consider buying another one of. Like I'm sort of sad that it's already like this far down, but super juicy, refreshing fragrance I just never get sick of. So that's Lakeside Morning. There is a slight plastic undertone to it that I get here and there. That's a little off-putting, but not enough to like discount the fragrance altogether. We then have Pumpkin Bonfire, which good luck finding this one in store at all, but this one was that. And this one is White Pumpkin Vanilla Clove Buds with Glowing Embers. This is their like white pumpkin fragrance, made a little bit more smoky and embery, and a little bit more like masculine. There's a slight cologne masculine vibe to it. Enjoyed it. It was super popular, so I don't think you can even find it for Candle Day. But it was a medium to medium strong, dudded out a little bit, but then sort of resurrected itself. Sort of slow burn towards the end that wasn't great, and it did diminish the throw on it, but it exists. People really like this one. I don't think I would personally pick up another one, but like I wouldn't mind seeing it come back. Let's put it that way. So that's Pumpkin Bonfire right there. Moving on to the other bakery collection, we have Dutch Apple Waffle right here. Friggin' love this one. This one, almost contemplate buying another one, but I don't. I still see it in stores. Warm buttermilk waffles, baked apple slices, and ground nutmeg. Actually, genuinely new fragrance, not a repackage. You get this like juicy, super sweet, like caramel. Oh yeah, I still love this one. Oh my god. Super sweet, like caramel apple fragrance, but it's more like this candied apple fragrance, similar to the spiced pomegranate cider fragrance. And then you get a little bit of a bakery implied buttery fragrance to it, but not totally like bakery like berry waffle cone or something is, but still a nice juicy apple bakery fragrance. It's actually quite unique and delicious. Mine was super strong and it burned great. I had no complaints about this one. Like this one has like literally just been flawless from top to bottom. Yeah, it's like talking about it makes me want another one, even though I literally see this all the time in stores and like no one's buying it. But yeah, so Dutch Apple Waffle there. Mine was a 0231 AG A3 because people were saying theirs was really crap. Mine was excellent. So that's Dutch Apple Waffle there. Pumpkin cookie dough, which I think was a online exclusive, but then turned it on online. Pumpkin cookie dough right there. This is homemade cookie dough, creamy pumpkin, cinnamon sugar with essential oils. I didn't really care for this one. Super generic. It's like this weird like creamy nutmeg, but made dry and powdery. Like it just smells, it doesn't really smell like gooey cookie dough, but rather just dry, powdery, like just like cheap cookies that have like just generic spice on it. Ugh. Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's super just generic and nothing to write home about. It was light in my office. If this was an online exclusive and I had to pay for shipping for it, I think I'd be disappointed. Thankfully, I found this in store, so I wasn't too bummed about it, but nothing super exciting or unique or intriguing by any means. So pumpkin cookie dough right there. We then have pumpkin snickerdoodle, which I share very much the same thoughts to on this one as I did with pumpkin cookie dough. That's what this one is. This one is warm sugar cookies, ground cinnamon, and fresh nutmeg sprinkled with sugar. This is just sugared snickerdoodle, just like totally just diluted and watered down and like not at all better in any way. Sugared snickerdoodle is so much more rich and heavy and intense and realistic. You get that like sort of warm bakery, oven vibe to it. This is just so much lighter than it, and just not as good or heavy as sugared snickerdoodle is. Totally redundant, duplicate, and I just don't think it's necessary. It was like a medium. but nothing I would recommend. So that's pumpkin snickerdoodle right there. We then had Acorn Lane from the fall time as well. This is basically chestnut and cloves made stronger, a little less nutty, and a little bit more of an apple cinnamon spice. Apple's not super strong, but there is a slight cinnamon vibe to it. Very like nostalgic fragrance, reminds me of fall or Christmas. It could be either. It's autumn leaves, warm cinnamon, and crisp gala apples. Decent. I don't really care for chestnut and cloves, so I don't really care for this one, but I can understand why it's so popular. Like my parents love this when they burn it, so you know that tells you something. If you like more of those type of like, I just really don't care for like cinnamon generic, you know, holiday fragrances, but if you do like those, then you might enjoy this. So that's Acorn Lane right there. This one was really strong, so there's that. Moving on to the Thanksgiving collection, the two new-ish or interesting ones that just wasn't like frosted cranberry or fresh balsam. We have Thanksgiving right here. This one is juicy red apple, gooey caramel praline pieces with essential oils. This is actually not caramel apple, believe it or not. It is the butterscotch toffee versions of caramel that's a little bit more gooey and strong, and a little bit more like sickeningly and cloyingly sweet, but I kind of don't mind that. I kind of get in the mood for it. Mixed with like this slightly sour apple note. It's weird. It's not caramel apple, but it's similar to it, but yeah. It was like ooey gooey, very like a liquidy feel to it. I didn't mind it. It was actually quite strong and delicious. I think this would be good for the fall time. The season has sort of passed for it, where I'm already into the winter fragrances, but maybe if I had bought this early, I'd been really into it. If you want a caramel apple variation that's very strong and ooey gooey and rich, then Thanksgiving was actually decent. I can't really rag on this one. And it burned fine and it was quite strong. So there was that. I think it sooted a little bit though. We have Welcome Home, which is what this is. This one is cinnamon sugar, warm apple butter, clove buds, and brown sugar. It's not the same as the Welcome Home from last year. It's more like cinnamon pretzel twist made even butterier. So cinnamon pretzel twist had this like slightly burnt toast note to it. And so it does smell like actual like, you know, buttered, you know, like a pretzel, like the soft ones you get from like Aunt Annie's or whatever it is, or Pretzel Time or whatever. From the mall, you get those type of soft pretzels. You get that little bit of saltiness in there, mixed with heaps of this super like rich, decadent butter fragrance to it. It's so friggin' buttery. It's almost like a buttered roll, but there's a sweetness to it that I guess is coming from a little bit of that apple in there. I actually didn't mind it because it was like they took cinnamon pretzel twist, got rid of all the burnt nasty stuff, amped it up and made it actually quite strong, and it burns great. So yeah, this one was actually quite good. So that was Welcome Home right there. We then move on to the Christmas collection. We have Peppermint Sugar Cookie, which was one of the new ones. Frosted Forest in this same packaging was just friggin' unscented, just awful. I went like literally right back to the store, FYI. Crushed peppermint, vanilla extract, creamy butter, soft sugar cookies. If you're looking for peppermint marshmallow and can't find it in a 3-week because it's not available this year, this one's the next best thing. I still get, the more you burn it, the more you get that sugared snickerdoodle cookie base is totally in there, mixed with that peppermint marshmallow type of vanilla peppermint blend. Super delicious and juicy. It was quite strong too. It was great for the first half. Has started to discolor here. And starting to nub out at this point. The fragrance hasn't changed though. It still smells great. It doesn't smell like kerosene. It doesn't smell plasticky. It doesn't smell nasty or chemical at all. It still smells the same. It's just slowing down and has changed color. So that was the one I had, which was a 0269 AGA1. This one's I actually recommend. Like if I had to buy like a new fragrance for somebody, I guess Peppermint Sugar Cookie would be it. We have You're the One, which is matching to the body care, and that's what this looks like right here. This is white birch, velvety rose, and a drop of strawberry nectar. Smells just like the body care. More of a mature, like a generic mature department store perfume is what I get from it. Rose, not really, just a generic powdery mature floral. Kind of sort of smells like scented toilet paper or fabric softener, or just like a generic floral fragrance. Mixed with a little bit of a sweetness from the strawberry that just makes it a little bit cheap smelling. I'm just really not a fan of this. It's not terrible. I enjoy it while it's burning, but it's nothing I need to repurchase or anything that I'm like really like raving about. But it exists. It was strong, so there's that. So if you're looking for a mature department store perfume type of fragrance as a gift, then maybe You're the One right there. Not a true rose fragrance. Let's see. We then have the Fancy Lid 2650 ones, and that's what these are. This is Peach on Earth. This is going to be fresh peach, sweet cinnamon, frosted vanilla with essential oils. Ugh. Yeah, this just so much potential on cold. This ooey gooey custardy peach filling with like this cinnamon sugar crust note to it. Delicious peach bakery fragrance, so much better than peach cobbler. It was excellent. And then when you go to burn it, bam, trashy like rotten peaches in a plastic garbage bag, just awful. Just super sour, like somebody was saying it smelled like stale water, and I totally get that, like this stale sour ickiness with plastic cheap peaches. Ugh, it was just light to medium. Totally, any of those juicy bakery notes you got on cold completely dissipated. It just turns into like a worse market peach, Georgia peach. So that was Peach on Earth right there. Apparently the international bottom label version is good, but the version I got was just nothing good. Fresh Winter Air right here. This is going to be zesty citrus, fresh peppermint, cold evergreen with essential oils. This one was decent. I actually kind of like it. It is lighter than most. It's just at a light, I would say. It's more like this laundry fragrance, laundry sheets type of like cotton type of fragrance is what I get from it, similar to that soft cashmere blanket. Sort of a fresh cotton made powdery and a little bit floral. I don't really get a lot of pine to it. But it's nice and sort of perfumey and just sort of like light and elegant. I kind of enjoy it. Nothing I need to buy another one of. There is a floral component in there that reminds me more of a spring summer fragrance. This could totally be like some kind of ocean linen sheets or whatever. It could totally be a summer fragrance. I don't mind it. It's light, but nothing I rave about or need another one of. Fresh Winter Air right there. Moving on, we have Frosted Spearmint in the Luminary collection, and that's what this looks like. This one is Frozen Apple, Snow-Capped Mint, Creamy Sandalwood, and Ice Musk. I don't mind this one, but I never look forward to burning it or see myself wanting to burn it. It's kind of weird, but I appreciate the weirdness, but nothing that I really ever want my house to smell like. You get a spearmint in there, but it's mixed with like this slightly perfumey apple vanilla blend that's kind of strange and weird. Yeah, it's like the spearmint that's sweetened ever so slightly by like a subtle vanilla apple type of fragrance to it. But the perfuminess it makes it very inedible. It's decent, it's nice. It's like if you want a fresh, crisp, like I guess frosted spearmint type of fragrance, this makes sense. But just nothing that I really gravitate towards. Yeah, maybe when it gets colder out, possibly. This one I think was a medium to strong, so that's Frosted Spearmint right there. Super cute packaging though. Let's see, moving on to this collection. We have Fresh Balsam, Tried and True. Everyone knows what this smells like, so I'm not really going to go into it. Woodland Balsam, Crispy Eucalyptus Fir Branches, Cedarwood. As per my theory of the white wax not dudding out, this one has held up that way. It still makes mushroom tops even in the mid-range point. Burns very even and hot and like, you know, doesn't dud out or nub out because of the thick rope-like wicks or the dark wax. This one actually burns fine. Not as strong as it has been in past years, but still strong enough. Your usual quintessential Fresh Balsam fragrance. They haven't messed up too much with it, so it's still good if you're looking for a Fresh Balsam. Salted Caramel Eggnog, not at all an eggnog fragrance, just a milky, caramely, super sweet salted caramel fragrance. I didn't really care for it. It burns super dirty. Look at this nastiness. Like, this is just gross. This is Gooey Caramel Fresh Sea Salt Dulce de Leche Sweet Whipped Cream. Yeah, it's just like this milky, like pumpkin caramel latte's caramel fragrance made milky, made a little bit more salted. It was medium, I think. I just really didn't. It was just another generic salted caramel fragrance. But Aroma Eggnog is better if you're looking for eggnog. We have Gingerbread Marshmallow right here. Totally redundant. Very similar to Spiced Gingerbread, but just with like a little bit of a vanilla tweak to it. Gingerbread Spice, Eggnog, Spice Aroma, Vanilla Frosting, and Brown Sugar Crystals. It's just your usual gingerbread fragrance from them. I didn't really care for it. Medium fragrance, burns super hot instead of like crazy. Yeah, it is what it is, what is. And then I think that's pretty much it for all the Christmas stuff. We then have the This Just In collection that I'll just recap very quickly just because I've talked about this one so much. I did return my Alpine Skies because it was just nasty. Snowy Driftwood was actually different or pleasant. It's totally not an Ocean Driftwood repackaged, nothing at all like Mahogany Teakwood. It's not even really a cologne fragrance in my opinion. It smelled more like a perfume fragrance to me, and that's why I kind of liked it. Like a Fresh Winter Air made even more perfumey, which that's why I kind of liked it. It was a more perfumey, cottony type clean fragrance. I would say there's probably some floral in there as well. I liked it, but I was just like, I don't know if I want to pick it up. Maybe if it's just like it exists for candle day and it's like cheap, I don't even know. But it was totally not a cologne or ocean driftwood or mahogany teakwood repackaged. It was more a perfume fragrance, so I was actually pleasantly surprised by that. But I didn't pick it up, but it's slightly tempted, so there's that. But anywho, Mary Madeline cookie just smells like orange creamsicle mixed with a little bit of a warm bakery note to it. It was just medium. It got lost in an open concept area and just very light to medium in a smaller office room. Nothing I need to repurchase. But if you want a orange bakery fragrance, at least it's a little bit unique or different from what the usual stuff that they do, it would be good for like maybe springtime. We then have sweet cranberry pie, which is basically just blueberry pie amped up with a slightly more tart berry note, but the same exact crust note. Blueberry pie is excellent, so if you're looking for a blueberry pie alternate in the winter time for Candle Day for a cheap price, then I would check it out because it's very, very, very similar to it. Super hot, intense sooty burn. We have cinnamon ginger snap. This one just very mediocre to me. Like a gingerbread cinnamon. It's just like they took gingerbread and made a little bit more red hot cinnamon fragrance in there. And a little bit of a sweet cookie vibe to it. It's not terrible, but it's just a one and done for me. I just really don't care for cinnamon bakery fragrances, but if you do like cinnamon bakery fragrances, it's actually quite pleasant. So yeah, cinnamon ginger snap right there. We then have chocolate grams, which is not Italy cannoli and chocolate. This is more similar to toasted graham latte without the weird funkiness to it. Milk chocolate graham cracker, caramel swirl, and vanilla extract. Absolutely no caramel in here. Yeah, it has that graham cracker fragrance in there mixed with a little bit of a marshmallow component. Not a whole lot of chocolate, to be honest. It's not heavy at all like hot cocoa and cream or hot fudge sundae. Just one was fine for me. It was a medium strength to it, and so there was that right there. Under the Christmas Tree, which was probably my favorite from all of them, it's like they took vanilla balsam but made it a little bit more herbal because of the sage note in there. And then the eggnog is a little bit more dairy, ooey gooey creamy that I actually enjoy. Super hot burn. Yeah, this one I actually kind of like. This one would be the one if I were to contemplate picking up a repurchase, possibly, for balsam, juniper berries, vanilla eggnog, and sage leaves. If you want vanilla balsam but a slight tweak on it, I would say Under the Christmas Tree is there. Did a full in-depth review on that one. White Velvet Coconut, totally seasonally inappropriate. I don't understand the obsession with coconut during the holidays. It's White Velvet Cake coconut shavings and white buttercream. It's like they took their toasted coconut fragrance, which had heaps of that burnt singed hair fragrance with a super sweet caramel. So to tone that down, made it a little less offensive and shoved in a little bit more of that pleasant coconut cream pie type bakery coconut fragrance. And that's what you get with White Velvet Coconut. I would say medium fragrance throw. It was decent. It would be good for like maybe spring or summer, but it's just really out of the place during winter. But that's White Velvet Coconut. If you want a coconut bakery fragrance, this one's actually decent. So there's that. Nothing I need to repurchase. Coming for Candle Day, Berry Waffle Cone in this collection. Berry Waffle Cone is always an excellent fragrance. I can't vouch for the burn or the throw on it, but Berry Waffle Cone is always worth a pickup. But there is Tropical Island Bliss, which was an online exclusive, but should be going into stores for Candle Day. Fresh pineapple, toasted coconut shavings, and mango puree. I think I burned this one twice. It was actually quite pleasant or nice. I actually liked it. It would be really good for the summertime, but not right now. You get that pineapple. There's a body care component in here that I actually really enjoy. It smells like a Bath & Body Works coconut pineapple body care fragrance, and that's what I really like about it. There's a nice, rich, toasted coconut fragrance with a hint of a sweet pineapple fruit note that's made body care. I kind of actually like it and dig it. It's just really inappropriate to burn right now, but the fragrance itself is actually not bad. Kind of like Tiki Beach, but just a slight body care tweak on it, but I don't mind that. So Tropical Island Bliss, I think it was like a medium to medium strong. And I think, whew, that is it. There's so much stuff. Yeah. Overall, this season was quite underwhelming. There's nothing that I'm like, oh my god, wow about. Like, oh my god, if it never came back again, I would be so sad. Not at all. Like, it's just been totally underwhelmed. I don't know if it's because the COVID threw a wrench in their plans that they didn't have anything new come out. Dutch Apple Waffle was delicious. Banana Walnut Muffin was good. Lakeside Morning was surprisingly good. But nothing that's like, you know, Winter Garland or Merry Mistletoe or Winter White Woods. Nothing that I'm like, oh my god, I need to hoard all of them or risk getting COVID to go into the store for. Nothing at all like that. I think the last candle that I really like fell in love with was Pink Lilac and Vanilla during the springtime. And everything else has just been sort of like, it exists, it's there. I have better stuff in my collection, so I'm not really compelled to like, you know, hoard any of it. So hard to really recommend or give any of these glowing reviews. Maybe I've just been at this for so long that I'm kind of jaded that it takes more for me to like actually to start repurchasing and hoarding stuff now because I have such a massive collection, but there's really nothing to get really like super excited about this time around. And the Candle Day stuff, they're not really releasing anything that's exclusive or like, you know, special for Candle Day this year, like they did with like Blueberry Sugar Donut and Cereal Marshmallow Bar, that there's really nothing to feel compelled to go into the store for. So possibly online exclusives. If they do that, then maybe, but otherwise just totally underwhelmed with this season. That this is probably like the least excited I've been for Candle Day, and I'm sure COVID and the pandemic has something to do with that in terms of not wanting to go into the store because of all the crowds. So there is that. So it's just sort of like use your own discretion. Candles are very non-essential, so you know, risking your life and tons of crowds for it. I don't really know. I'm not judging anyone who's going to go into the store. I haven't even really made my decision on whether I'm going to go into the store or not, but hoping maybe that just the saving grace will be online exclusives, but otherwise just totally underwhelmed with the season as a whole. But that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching. It's like getting dark out now, so I'm just gonna leave it there. And good luck. Hope you get what you want, and just please be safe. Just be safe. Wear your masks and try to distance, even though it's kind of hard with people, you know, in the store. But it is what it is. I'm just gonna leave it there. Thanks so much. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a safe and healthy, you know, Christmas and holiday season going forward. Thank you for all your support and all that kind of stuff. So thanks so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.